Magicshine is a well-known manufacturer of bicycle lights. They decided to expand into a more traditional market, headlamps and hand flashlights. This expansion started with some quite strange models. It's obvious that the rich experience in the development of bicycle lights didn't help them in any way, but this model, Magicshine MOH35, seemed to be quite interesting, so I accepted the offer to review it, and here is this review. If you would like to buy this headlamp after watching my review, the link is below video, and in the final part of review will be real runtime charts and pics with some performance of this headlamp. Make sure you watch the video until the very end, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. And let's start with the most interesting part, my overall impression and how this headlamp really works. This headlamp is definitely better than what I would expect from a brand that is just getting started with hand and headlamps. MOH35 is a very balanced model in the sense that all that I can say good about it is balanced with its bads. I'm not against built-in batteries when they are used in compact plastic models. There are simply no other way, and even now you can find hybrids of the built-in plus AAA battery. But when it comes to a full-sized headlamp, I find it definitely unjustified to deprive the user of the opportunity to replace a discharged battery with a fresh one. Yes, you have 21700's battery, which has about 20-30% more capacity than the usual 18650 battery. And that's good. And the bad thing is that here we've got 4000 mAh battery with a difference in price with 4800 mAh battery. It's outright greed, especially when the MOH35 costs quite a lot, $90. And $2-3 difference in the battery price wouldn't play any role here, in contrast to 20% difference in capacity and runtime. Actually, this non-removable battery pack and the minimum capacity 21700's battery are main functional drawback of this model. Then the good begins, and in general there is a lot of good things here. For example, with the battery as it is, runtime is remarkable. In general, I'm sure that on the full charge you have good to work both near and far light for the whole evening. And if you work mainly with floodlight, which is most used for some kind of repair works or in camping, this partially removes the issue of a non-removable battery. What else? There is a fast Type-C charger with the ability to work as a power bank. A big advantage I see here is that the additional LEDs are fully functional here. They are not limited to one level of brightness. And the floodlight is also not cold white, it's neutral white, which is really good. Red light can be very bright when needed, probably the brightest red light I have ever seen of any headlamp, and it also has dim mode. As for the brightness, capacity runtime ratio shows that the maximum brightness is a little bit overstated here, which is bad, but it's still definitely enough, which is good. And well, don't forget that head warms up too slowly, so heat transfer from the LED seems not to be that efficient. User interface is sort of advanced Phoenix style. It's not flexible enough for experienced users, but I doubt they would be interested in MOH35. But the average user will find such user interface quite convenient. Actually, an ordinary user with a big wallet is the clear target audience of this model EMO. So if you don't take into account non-replaceable battery, then the light of MOH35 is definitely more interesting than many competitors can offer you. It is, in my opinion, a rather serious advantage. And in general, speaking about functionality, this is a quite good model. If the ability to have a full-fledged additional LEDs is more important for you than the being tied to a power bank or charger, and you are ready to spend $90, then you may well consider the MOH35 option for buying yourself or as a gift. I remind the package, as you can see now, is very good and presentable. And let's take a look at the MOH35 appearance. The package is damn good. A luxury cardboard box with an excellent printing. The head and battery packs are inside the foam rubber. Underneath is something like a thin wallet paper box that houses the hand mount, clip, manual and charging cable. Everything is neat and decent. There are no gel inserts inside head strap. Reflective elements on the outside are rather decorative than useful. There's only one visible at side, while rear one is closed by battery packs, so you can just buy reflective tape and stick it to battery pack to make sure you're visible from rear side. And here is that battery pack. It's a non-separable battery pack with one battery, and if the latter is only meaningless because two batteries will reveal all the charm of the rear remote battery pack, not one, then the first is also impractical. There are no super high currents on which manufacturer may refer to and say we ensure the contact density and remove losses and prevent from installing low current batteries. Well, Magicshine, you like plastic? Okay, just make a plastic cover on a plastic thread. In short, a non-separable unit with a 21700's battery is definitely not good. If the battery runs out, you're doomed to wait until it recharges. Second point, it would be wise to make a cover for both connectors, not just Type-C. The latter has a nice thick cover. Headlamp fits on head quite comfortable. Battery pack doesn't feel like a burden. The photo shows that it's far away from the head, but in reality it does not hang up and down. It would be much more useful to provide MOH35 with separable extension cable to make the battery pack fully remote, so if necessary it can be put into a backpack or pocket and generally relieve the head. I like head block as much as I don't like battery pack. It is a small metal cube, the entire upper part of which is occupied by a comfortable soft clicky button. The ratchet tilt is adjustable within 60 degrees and holds quite tightly. Optic looks damn good, but there is no way to see how the heatsink is organized there, no chance to get inside the head. So the declared 1000 lumens for a head of this size. The brightness is very impressive, right to the point that you start thinking if head block is too small for such a brightness. Especially considering the fact that turbo lasts really unbelievably long here. In the final part of review there will be runtime chart for turbo mode, so make sure you watch video until the very end. And here is user interface. User interface is quite convenient and simple. Magicshine could come up with some of their own cunning crappy user interface, but decided not to do it. So it's good for average user. Off on by pressing about 1 second, switching modes by clicking, 4 modes in main light, or 3 modes in floodlight and low-high SOS in red light. 2 clicks, toggle between the LEDs. Memory for both LED and brightness level. Shortly, that's good. Light distribution is pretty decent here. There is an opportunity to get some throw, there is a less bright but much more convenient near diffuse natural light, and there are 2 levels of red light. It's worth noting that I have already made headlamps with additional red and flood LEDs, but they had just 1 level of brightness, and in terms of light, MOH35 is much more interesting here. And it's fully stabilized. Taking into account the fact that the battery is not replaceable, I will say that runtime here is really good, and with the maximum probability you will have enough runtime for the whole evening, and if you work mostly at close range, then for the whole night. As we have just seen in a runtime chart for turbo, it is too long. It can be seen that there is a thermal cut off. When you turn turbo on again, the brightness immediately slides down, and with some fan cooling, the runtime increases. But 1000 lumens should heat up such a compact head unit extremely quickly, and taking into account such a small size of the head unit, more than 3 minutes in the turbo is so good that it is worth thinking about the efficiency of the heat transfer from LEDs. In short, there is both a classic marketing math in specs, increased maximum brightness and runtime. However, the main thing is that even as it is, the headlamp actually gives a good and comfortable, bright and long-lasting light. And that's what you need from a headlamp. Just see for yourself right here on the display in front of you. If you need some throw, you turn on spotlight. In maximum brightness, this mode will last really long, maybe too long, as I've said before, but at least you've got this runtime. And if you've got an urgent need in throw in serious brightness, you've got it. And if you just need some ordinary brightness, you've got 400 lumens medium mode, and such brightness will last for hours, and then it will step down to some lower mode and just work for hours more. That is also good. As for me, most of the time I use headlamp for close range work, within the range of like 5 meters. And in this case, you've got fluid light here with maximum brightness of 100 lumens. It's not impressive number, but in reality 100 lumens is really decent brightness level, and you've got 13 hours in this mode, the whole night long use. I hope you've got a clue what to expect from this headlamp. If you would like to buy it, there is a link to store under my review with a discount code. If you don't like it, if you like it, no matter, just write down your opinion, feel free to comment, and I appreciate if you subscribe my channel, and don't forget to click bell in order not to miss new review. It will be Phoenix TK11. See ya!